yourself and question authority.
We're up. How's it going, everybody? Another episode of The Relentless Skeptics. You got Jesse, of course, Devin, and our special guest, Stephen DeMatties.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
How's it going?
It's good, man. It's good to be back on.
Yep. Well,
yes, thank you for joining us again. We appreciate it.
This is,
bro.
What, our second episode?
No, I think it's our 10th.
Oh, that. Yeah. No, I mean with Steve.
Yeah. I think it is, our second time, man.
I think this is our sixth episode officially, or seventh.
Hell yeah.
But we are missing two out the front because we took them off of,
Oh, okay. And you
streaming
just,
services.
they're
on YouTube,
on
though,
Twitch?
Yeah, they're on YouTube. You can watch them on YouTube, but nobody watches my YouTube.
Well, that's why you gotta change the name. We'll fucking
I think
change
I subscribed to whatever.
Mr. Carmenas.
I doubt it was to my YouTube. Oh, that's crazy.
I think so.
Hey,
Just to plug that real quick. Yeah.
thanks for subscribing to my YouTube.
Yeah, man.
We'll do our plugs real quick since we're plugging stuff. You go ahead, Steve. Plug your stuff.
So name's Steve. I have a podcast myself. It's Doe Wise Men. Me and a few buddies that just shoot the shit, talk about weird stuff, and go over some pretty cool, interesting things.
Steve, now is that a funny spelling?
It is. It's DUHWYWHYSMEN. We're just a group of guys located Central Florida area. So we are on all socials, Instagram, Facebook, working on a TikTok right now. But yeah, if you just go ahead and give us a follow, appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, it's cool. And we got our usual plugs. Reckless Skeptics on Facebook, Twitter.
Reckless.
Relentless.
You said-
Damn, it's what happens when you smoke too much weed, bro.
Damn, bro.
Relentless Skeptics on Facebook, Twitter. I don't think I'm on Instagram.
Reckless.
Dude, stop laughing at me. You do the plugs. Fine.
Oh my god. It's so funny.
You can get us anywhere, I guess. Fuck it. Spotify for sure, though. Go wow.
Yeah, just fucking Google
That's
it.
what I give a shit about. Listen to us on Spotify.
Yeah, drop a comment too, man. Oh yeah.
Yeah, rate us 5-star rating on Spotify,
Oh,
please.
fuck
Thank
yeah.
you.
I definitely did that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yep. I just noticed you could do that the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, Joe Rogan's got a 4.8. I was like, that is accurate.
Yeah,
Good job.
I would say so. Yeah.
Is it out of 5 stars, right? Out of 5.
I mean,
Yeah.
but there's like 5,000 reviews, so it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
There's always going to be the haters. We need the haters around. 4.8 is pretty solid.
Yeah, haters gotta hate, and
Yeah,
ainers
and
gonna
yeah.
hate.
They're peanut butter and jealous. That's all. That's all it is.
Oh man. So this episode's called COVID and the Elites. I think Steve brought a few talking points he wanted to nail down.
Let's just jump right into it, guys.
That's the plan.
Just jump right into it. Let's hear. You wanted to talk about the Davos Group. I've heard a little bit about it. And
Yeah,
I
it was
think
just some interesting stuff that I looked up and everything. But you know how everything is with turn on the news and all it is COVID or something racist going on or something. It's always like something to like drag your attention away from like other things that are going on that are pretty important.
Right.
And like have like superior purpose in a way. Like these are people that are kind of calling the shots and running the show, and they own a lot of things. And there's different agendas and groups that are pushing things, and it's like everything is kind of like on a global standpoint, especially with COVID happening. Like COVID kind of initiated a lot of things. To me, it was like COVID is a tool to use to globalize other things,
Like what?
Just like because things are globalized for the first time, like almost medically, but there are different
That's a good point. So,
protocols.
so what do you mean by that? Like, so COVID, the vaccine was globalized because I mean, that makes sense because Pfizer and all these companies went. It wasn't just one. It wasn't just secluded to one continent or one country. It's the whole world.
Yeah, and I'd say that because
Is that what you're talking about? That's
yeah, and what initiates me to think that is that you see the worldwide alliance in a way for the vaccines, and it's you see that, and it makes me question because there's a bunch of doctors out there and no one has talked about any type of treatment or anything alternative vaccine, which makes me believe like, okay, it's something else. We're all going to the same we're probably going to all start going to the same type of vaccine protocols and things like this, because I don't think COVID's ever going to go away personally. And I mean,
I don't think it's really possible for it to go away.
no, I think it's something that governments now are going to start using, because it's they're like an appliance that just wants to work and make power. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they want to keep on making power because they like power, and they want to go ahead and it's like, when they take away something of ours, like, we never really get it back. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that a quote from Ben Franklin?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's like a Ben Franklin quote is about something about like giving up power. We don't deserve it or some shit like that. Like,
and it's kind of like, the further we keep getting pushed, the little by little you get pushed, then next thing you know, you're 2 miles down the road. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard for governments to, withdraw power per se.
Yeah, once they gain it.
Steve, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
When you have something you want to show on your computer, just let me know and I'll change
Okay,
the scenes.
Cool. Gotcha.
We're looking at all three of us right now, so we're just gonna have to go back and forth with that.
No, it sounds good. So, but yeah, the COVID thing's been kind of obvious in my opinion, because I guess, I mean, I've kind of understood, like the whole New World Order concept, like 10 years ago. But now when you start to see things,
which is what, just describe the New World Order.
I don't know,
describe
man.
That
the New World
bit.
Order, man, it's a bunch of shit.
Wrestling.
It could be a bunch of things, man. Like people, we really don't call the shots, man. We're really at the bottom of the food chain here, and I think that the New World Order is obvious. Like, there's been governments that even stated it, on interviews or talking to their countries and stuff. I think it was Australia. They even called their agenda the New World Order. Like on the news. I mean, they're talking about it, like, and then when you look at who the people are, and you see the Build Back Better, you know what I'm saying, agenda, and you see the people that are involved.
I'm sorry to interrupt. What is that? Yeah, take a big old drink of that.
It was a big anarchy A on my shirt.
Yeah. Man, only the Antifa people are wearing that. You better take that shit off and hide it somewhere, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Oh, are you gonna go fucking burn down the cities with them next time? What's going on here?
No. Why would I do that? I don't know. Do they pay well?
Right? Hey, George Soros is paying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Pretty well.
Saying they pay well, I might do it. They leave this. They bring the supplies.
Hey,
they leave them on the street for people.
I'll tell you what, they don't pay the idiots well, but they pay the undercover contractors pretty well. The windows in Minnesota and fucking, you remember all that?
I got a real good, fake Minnesotan accent, eh?
Minnesota. What are you? You're Australian and Minnesotan right there. Hey, cheers, mate.
No, A is
From
Canadian.
Minnesota. I'm an Australian from Minnesota.
Mate.
Oh man,
Funny.
All right, so I really want to cover more in depth. So the New World Order, specifically, what the New World Order is, like, sum it up a little bit for us.
What do you think it is?
Oh, all right. So you want to get
What do
me
you
going
think?
on this?
What do you think it is? I think we all need to share our ideas on what we think this is. Like, what is the end goal? You know?
So that's what I don't know. I think there might be some type of. So the only reason. So let me just make this clear. The only reason why I believe the hard evidence that I've seen, it's obvious, is that all of the countries, most of the big major countries, have the same talking points as COVID. They have the same agenda. They have the same kind of future outlook, and they all say the very, like, almost identical sentences and words to the public as far as their public speeches go. They have identical speaking. So as far as that goes, it's like, okay, there seems to be an agenda here because Australia is speaking just like the UK, and UK is speaking just like America. And there's a bunch of countries that aren't really doing the same thing. But it seems like the big major powers, I'd say probably besides Russia. Russia's not really saying shit like that. But I don't really know that well. So, I mean, as far as the New World Order, that's where I can see, like, okay, I've heard about this before. I've heard Alex Jones talk about this. I've heard plenty of people talk about this, mainly Alex Jones, in depth. And it does seem pretty suspicious that there is so much going on with the New World Order. I mean,
Yeah.
it's tough. It's a tough question to answer, but at the end of the day, I guess you can just break it down to there's a few very rich billionaires that invest in all very similar things for very similar purposes, and there's agendas to be had with those guys, and it seems like they're using COVID, kind of like you're saying, they're using COVID as one of their tools to kind of push through their own agendas. And and they're all very similar. So New World Order, everybody says, oh, what they want to do is they want to make a one world government. And honestly, when you look at the COVID laws and you look at the agendas for each of these countries, each of these states, it's very clear that they're all kind of headed down the same route.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
So I mean, that's I mean, I could go on and on about the New World Order. I guess me asking you kind of summarize the New World Order, that's a pretty shitty question because it's kind of hard to do that, you know.
I think we look at this very, very narrow-mindedly, as in we expect it to be one New World Order when it's going to be multiple different factions of different things heading in one direction, like groups of people. Like, you're not going to have everybody with the same political beliefs, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never going to happen.
Right. What if, like, something like communism, like, comes into play? Like, communism is the global.
Well, there's still going to be 50% of the people that are against it.
Well, what have we seen with?
Yeah.
What have we seen with COVID,
like
though?
That.
What have we seen with COVID, though? There's a lot of pushback on it. There's a lot of pushback on it.
I see what you're saying, but I
they're pushing through a lot of things with this, and you don't have a choice with a lot of these things. Like the whole vaccine mandate, 100+ employees. They don't really have a choice, or their business is going to get shut down.
I think the communist thing really depends on what they do more with stimulus bills and stuff like that. Because if they're going to go communist, they're going to want the people of America to depend on the government for funds, which means they want to tax you more and give you more aid, to where you're relying on government funds to supply your life.
They're already doing that, though.
But they're not. They're not all the way, though. That like, not everybody, though, is what I'm saying. And so, like,
not everyone, right?
And so, like, that's why the stimulus packages. That's what
everyone.
And if they start implicating more stimulus packages, that's where you're gonna see that.
Yeah, but all that is
universal basic income, right? Universal basic income.
All that is socialism, and that leads to communism. When you look at the history of
that's what I'm saying.
Communism, Right.
Agreed.
So we're kind of like we're going
Agreed.
that we're like the third inning or fourth inning, I guess per se, if you're comparing it to a game.
Because if we
You know?
some of us
Makes
already
sense.
rely on the government.
Yeah,
Them doing that would make a lot more of us rely on the government,
no doubt, no doubt.
and that's what they would want.
That's why I think you see a lot of like on the left side of the spectrum, they go over like like the whole taxing the rich and like the whole upper class and trying to help out the lower class and everything, but then the middle class gets hit the hardest. So and they people complain about like taxes being all messed up, but the rich people actually pay a lot of share of the taxes. They pay, I think, 75 or 80% of the taxes, like the general amount.
What it is when the middle class gets hit the hardest is because there is aid for the lower class.
Yeah.
And then the upper class doesn't need it. And the middle class can't receive the aid because they make too much money, or they live in the wrong area, or they're the wrong color sometimes. You know what I mean? And it's just it's not right, but it's the way the world works.
Well, I honestly, I think really what it is when you talk about something like welfare, that's an incentive to do less and have more children without actually being even married. It's an incentive to do less. The lower class deal, it's really a bunch of bullshit if you really think about it. If you're disabled, that's one thing. But if you grew up in a very poverty-stricken,
outweigh the negatives of welfare, and that is why we have a welfare system.
I'm not really sure what you mean by that.
Well, I mean, it saves people's lives from starving because there are a lot of homeless, and there are people that don't use the system. You're talking about but you're talking about a number of people that use the system. You're literally
no. This is my point. That's not my point. This is my point. My point is that welfare system is designed to give you an incentive to do less, have more children, and not even be married. That's abusing and using the system, and majority of that money. Okay, I didn't understand you then. Yeah, the majority of that money is used by people that are abusing the system. And it's just a system kept there to hold those people down and control those people even more.
COVID did.
It's easier to control those people.
What did they pass during COVID?
It's easier to control those people. Very easy.
One at a time.
Didn't they pass some bill or something for that? Or people are, I think they're still paying their mortgages or something like that. I think
there's a bunch of stuff that was
relief stuff or something like that.
Most of I think it's gone now. But they were doing
got involved in that.
Yeah, right. They were doing PPP loans, paycheck protection programs, I believe it was. And I know personally, some crackheads some actual addicts, drug addicts that got PPP loan, $20,000 at a time, $40,000 total, and they might have even got more than that. But I applied for one twice, and the first time I applied on my own, they only said I was allowed a certain amount of money, and I didn't apply for it. The second time, I actually applied for it, and they denied me. And I actually have an LLC. I have a business, and I'm licensed and all this shit, and they didn't give it to me because I'm not a minority, is what I was told. And I was like, oh, maybe you're right. It sounds like bullshit. I don't really know the truth at the end of the day, but I can tell you that a crackhead got it, and I didn't. I have a fucking legitimate business.
But there are people. My point is, this is my point about you're talking about how we shouldn't have a welfare system because it promotes people being lazy and using it. My point is there are people that need it, and then there are people that don't need it. I know plenty of crackheads that abuse the fuck out of the system, but then I know that me personally has had to go on food stamps multiple fucking times because I've been broke.
I've had food stamps. I didn't need it though. So
no, I needed it. So my point is
maybe I needed it.
And then I've had things that I've needed. Like I've applied for loans and shit, or I've applied for aid and been denied just because. But I've seen crackheads get it. And they got like 6 kids and fucking don't have a job. And I've had a job for 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really our point, right? That's our point is that it's literally giving them the incentive to be a crackhead.
Right, but there's no way
and to do bad.
I needed help. So the systems need to be there. So people like me, you, Steve,
Yeah.
if we ever need it, because we're good people, we need that aid.
Yeah, but
there are
see
people
that's
that-
the problem with the
so-
system. You do a phone interview. You do
But
one
that's
phone
my
interview.
point. The,
You got to go
the
in person.
negatives and the positives outweigh the negatives of the system, and that is my
The
point.
negatives outweigh the positive.
No, the positives outweigh the negatives. Because you have to
You
shell
think
out a
welfare is a good system?
No, but I'm saying it's
This
a
is
better
the worst
system
system
than
we
no
have.
system.
They needs a better system. It doesn't. We need to get rid of the welfare system. It needs to be
Design our
different.
welfare system, Jesse.
It's easy. You need to go in person and have an interview with a psychologist and whoever else to really identify that you need the money. Not just a psychologist, a goddamn fucking accountant. Oh, a whole bunch of shit needs to be involved. But I've seen this before. You get on a fucking phone and you have a phone interview with somebody for food stamps. Or you have a phone interview for welfare and they ask you questions and you could just lie and say whatever. There's no looking into the only thing they can look into is your past with your finances. They can see though if you're making money. So yeah, you're not gonna if you're making $40,000 a year or more and it's in your bank account and you're getting paid by a company, yeah, you're not going to be able to get much for anything with welfare or snaps. But if you're a drug dealer and you don't have any income and you say that you're sleeping from couch to couch, guess what? You're making $40,000 a week as a drug dealer, and now food stamps is going to pay you and your baby mama whatever for hundreds of dollars a month for food stamps, and then $100 a month on top of that for welfare, and you have 3 kids. So I mean, that's how the system now is abused. It needs to be more in depth. I've seen it happen. I've seen it work. I had a drug dealer teach me how it works. So I mean, it's just that's the fucking fucked up part of the system. I agree with you. There is definitely some people that need it to get up off to get up out of the hard place. They need that. For sure, I can agree with that. Especially for women that are like stuck with like 4 kids and have a disability and
No, they just shouldn't get welfare.
They don't have any family.
Why do they have 4 fucking kids and nobody?
I mean,
they're making bad choices.
She's stupid. She's making bad choices, but some of those people actually need that, but not enough. It needs to be different. It can't just be like, hey, lady, I'm gonna give you. That's what happens. Hey, I'm gonna give you $1,000 a week because you're in a hard place. Well, you're just gonna keep being in a hard place because you're gonna keep wanting that $1,000 a week. The system needs to change. I'm not equipped to do that, but I can tell you what, God and country and all that shit, religion needs to come back in to the damn fucking soul of America, because we were good once upon a time. It was very racist in the 50s and 60s, and it was a very rough time for different races, but at the same time, the school systems were better, and I wish it would just be like that, but for all races now, I wish it could be like that. Just have it's kind of weird for some people to think about it. Like my parents growing up, they didn't necessarily like the Christian and Catholic religions. They felt like they were cults. They kind of like were like, yeah, that's kind of weird. They all kind of act the same, but they had structure, And back in the 50s, you look at that 70s show. Remember the 70s show with Red and fucking what's his mom's name? They had some type of structure back then. There was a family unit. We don't really have the family unit as much now. That's kind of what they call it, the nuclear family. They want to get rid of that. Well, they're doing a good job at it,
Let's tie that in to what we were just talking about, because we went on a huge tangent. So, like, how's that tie into welfare system?
Getting rid of the nuclear family, because
make the connection. Finish it.
Yeah.
Finish
it. Well, that was the connection right there. I already said it. They're giving you the incentive to not really have a family. They're like, hey, if you don't have a family and the daddy's not around or the mommy's not, mostly the daddy, if you're single and you have 5 kids, you're going to get more money. And that's why people get caught with, a lot of fucking tax fraud, because they claim, people that aren't even real. Like, yeah, I fucking take care of 5 people that live in Mexico or some weird shit. And they're like, oh, you don't? No, you don't. You're not getting $8,000 back this year, you son of a bitch. So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The New World Order, that's probably a part of it too. They're giving you the incentive.
When they separated when they separated the family, I think like they did it through the school system. Like the school system. I think there's a bunch of things. I don't know if anyone can agree with me, but I think there's a bunch of things that are set up in our society that are have a facade in a way, like to where its purpose is one thing, but in reality it has another like deceitful purpose that like the sensory, we don't even sense it in a way, you know what I'm saying? But once you kind of like, you know, I'd say just doing a bunch of research and like understanding history and seeing it all play out and like thinking of it as like a game, like you can see this shit play out and it's like I understand it. You know,
It's a tough thing to red pill somebody. That's the whole term. It's really tough because I don't know. I can't really tell you the moment I was red pilled. I can't really, but at the same time, it's like there's a breaking point for everybody, and it's really just the truth. If you don't know the truth, most people don't care. They're living their everyday life, stuck in systems like welfare and schooling and trying to do this and that with your life. So you don't really give a fuck what's on the outside. You're trying to make money and be a part of the system. But in reality, that system is holding you down. You're stuck in that kind of groove, you know.
Mhm.
It's a, you know, this everything really ties together, and it's hard to red pill somebody because it's different for everybody. Most people don't give a fuck and just think other people are lunatics. I mean, I could agree with you on from both spectrums of political spectrums. There's lunatics on this side, there's lunatics on that side. But at the end of the day, what's the truth of the matter? You know, if you can sit there and admit, yeah, I don't know the truth of the matter. That's fine. I don't know the truth of the matter. I can tell you though that if you want to pay attention to some suspicious things that are going on, I'm not going to convince you myself. I already know. I fucking went down this little rabbit hole, and I can sit here and talk about certain things, but you know, I can't. I got to get on Google or pull it up, or DuckDuckGo and pull it up and really sit and talk about it. But most people that aren't red pilled yet. My point about this whole spiel again: people that aren't red pilled yet, they're they don't care enough to get red pilled. They don't want to be. They literally don't want to be.
Like I heard a guy on a podcast talking about that when he was back in, I think it was like 50s and 60s or something, and he was interviewing someone that was like had a direct relation with like the Rockefellers, and they stated that, you know, the whole women's rights movement, that wasn't entailed specifically for allowing women to be able to work and to be in the workplace and all this stuff, but yet it was meant to separate the woman from the home. Okay. And to now she has an income, and now where the government can now tax the same family twice. You understand? And like when you see like that stuff like that, and you see who's involved, especially the big names, like shit's interesting. It's kind of like we all want to know why, you know, a bunch of other things, you know, to where
Aliens.
especially you, right? Like especially like they're funding these if they're like a Soros, like they, you know, back
Lizard
then, like they're
overlords,
funding
bro.
Yeah,
these
see?
things,
See
like
what I'm saying?
funding
They
it and
blink with
then
their
publishing
they breathe with their
propaganda,
eyelids.
like from
Sorry.
MIB Men in Black,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Dude, I
Jeez.
just seen something about that, and I was gonna send it to Jesse a couple days ago, and it was somebody like Camilla Harris or something. She had like green or like fucking lizard eyes.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know if it was Camilla Harris. Don't quote me on who the person was, but
How's
it was definitely a popular person that was like,
things in New York going
well, that's
with the
bullshit.
COVID and everything?
It's bullshit. I was
Yeah.
just yelling at Jesse about it because the other day because you can't go into stores without masks again, and I got
Yeah, he called me all pissed off. I did not expect that at all. I was like, I know Devin's he's it's so funny because there's people where Devin's from that, and I mean I'm talking like you're not here, but there's people from where from. I was born and raised in upstate New York, but there's a lot of very liberal-minded conservatives in New York, and that's just because they're from New York. It's hard to explain that, but there's a lot of country folk that are riding around with whatchamacallit, fucking the goddamn Confederate flag on the roof. Something different. It means something different to them, than people would think. But it's like the people there in New York. It's very frustrating. Everybody's kind of an asshole. Like when you go more west or Midwest, people don't give a fuck about the masks.
Yeah.
People don't, and people in New York fucking are all about it. They're like, yeah, we've been getting fucked for years. Let's get fucked some more. Yeah, let's love it. Let's just be all about it.
I can't stand the masks. I can't stand it. And I specifically only got vaccinated. Is he even here? Can he hear me? I don't think he can hear me.
I think he left.
Yeah, I know.
He
asked me the question.
I think it's because he has to piss.
It's fine.
That son of a bitch.
That's fine.
No.
I see how it is.
You don't just, hey, we're paying you for this podcast, Steven. You don't just get up and leave.
He gets paid for this?
Oh, shit, I didn't tell you? Fuck, we got a fucking...
Jesse's like, we got a sponsor. Good time.
Hey, sorry, boys.
Hey, Steven gets paid $2,000 an episode, bro. Come on,
yeah,
man.
my bad, bro.
I was like, did he just leave?
Dude,
Talking about raging and these things, now I have to laugh because...
Hey, so you were saying you got vaccinated. Why? Why'd you get vaccinated?
Specifically, just so I didn't have to hear people talk at me about fucking not wearing a mask. I can be like, I'm vaccinated. Fuck off.
But that shit don't matter now.
Obviously, because now they're telling me I have to wear a mask again. So
yeah,
that's the only reason why you got a medical vaccine that's never been used before on humans. That's why you got it.
Yeah, dude, I just didn't want them to fucking bother me anymore. See, I live life by a pretty simple. I live life by a pretty simple concept. Life is a river, and you just flow with it, man. And there's twists and turns,
Steve,
but you just go, man.
You need to go fill up on the El Jimador.
Oh yeah,
go get you a
here real quick. Let's share the
go
screen.
Get a drink
I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys something that's we're talking about New York. So
all right, we're looking at it. We're looking at a weird thing that's blue.
All right, hold on. So this is okay.
Zoom it in, sir.
Hey, on the real though, Devin, what upsets you about the mask? Is it the fact that when you put it on? And all these masks, just any mask works in general for it. Is that what bothers you? Like, it just seems so not right.
Yeah,
it just doesn't
it's just stupid.
It just seems stupid.
I walked into Stewart's. This is why it made me mad. I walked into Stewart's. The lady said, "Do you have a mask?" I said, "No." She goes, "Oh, you can just use your shirt." I turned around and left.
Hey, she said you could use your shirt?
Yeah, she said I could pull my shirt up over my fucking face like this. I just turned around and left.
That's
I just
a dumbass motherfucker.
Fuck you, bitch. I'm out.
Hey, it's not if you think about it, it's not as dumb as someone saying, "No, you need to go get a mask," because this is the same thing.
But
it's the same thing.
Exactly.
That's
but
insane.
My point is what's the fucking point of even telling me to wear a mask if I can just use my shirt? If I can just use my shirt. If I can just go like this, what's the point of a mask? I did that when I smelled a fart. Oh man, you smell a fart, dude? Oh fuck. Like,
hey,
that gets rid of that barely dissipates fart smell.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's
and you think it's gonna fucking stop COVID?
Yeah,
these motherfucking people, dude.
Yeah.
Barely dissipates a fart smell, bro. Dude, did you just fart? Smells still. I can still kind of smell it.
But yeah, that means you're dead.
It's so crazy. That's so crazy.
Especially if you farted and you do that.
I live in a goddamn place where it's cool that your shirt is your mask now. And it's a mandate to wear a mask.
I think that was just her stupid, silly rules. I think someone should have told you, like, hey, you're supposed to wear a surgical mask that's even thinner than your shirt, but whatever.
At least they try and give the illusion that there's a filter in it.
Yeah. So this thing I wanted to show you guys. I don't know if you can see. Can you see it?
Yeah. I mean, you might
assembly bill.
If you zoomed in a little bit, but it doesn't look.
Yeah, go ahead and read that.
That's perfect, right there. That's great.
So, assembly bill, dude. So this is legislation in New York for the state of New York.
I had that on my computer too.
That's going to be passed, probably. It's in the committee section, It's already been introduced and everything.
Read some
When
of
you're
it to
reading
us. Some of your major points, man. I want to hear some of it because I live here and I want to hear how I'm getting fucked.
Just read this. Read this here. So, an act to amend the public health law in relation to the removal of cases, contacts, and carriers of communicable diseases who are potentially dangerous to the public health. So, contacts, cases, or carriers. Okay.
Removal from what though? Like the public?
Removal. So, yes.
So then, like,
So
I'm going to a
so
camp.
hear me
That's
out.
awesome.
Hear me
They're
out.
gonna have
Hear me
fucking meals and shit.
No, but it's like they can take your child from you.
They're gonna take you.
But when it
You're
gets-
gonna
when
put you in a camp, bro.
Take
Yeah,
I got
you're fucking
COVID.
done,
Let's go.
homie. No, like that's it's terrible if you comply with that. I would fight back with my
Obviously.
entire soul. But that's fine. This is real, brother. This is real. This is your state. This is what they're proposing. This is intense ass shit.
What's gonna
Removal
happen,
and
man?
detention of cases, contacts, and carriers.
You guys ain't never seen that movie? Escape from
This
New
is
York?
what Australia. This is what's going on in Australia. This is exactly what's going on, and this is all part of this New World Order shit. New York City is the capital of this entire fucking country when it comes to this New World Order shit. All right, New York is leading the way to a bunch of stuff.
What's that?
You know,
Governor's
Let's
name
hear it.
now?
you know, watch something like this get introduced in California next, and then Oregon, and then all these other
I just want to
states
say.
that want to do that.
Those are two pretty solid states. Other than that, yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. I
You
think.
understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Come on, man. Bring it to me.
All right, hold on. Like, can I?
It's right
Let
here.
me throw some opinion out.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, we need it.
It's gonna be an unpopular opinion with the people in my family, but my mom just got COVID. All right, and she decided she was gonna quarantine for 2 weeks or whatever it is, but she's still in full contact with everybody in her household, and her husband still goes to work, and we're pretty sure he's positive for COVID, but he won't get tested. And if that was in place, they wouldn't be able to do that. That's a super spreader fucking situation right there. We're trying to stop the spread of COVID, and I got my dumbass mom being a dumbass mom.
Yeah, in reality, they shouldn't be able to stop you. They've never been able to stop you before. This virus and even all the variants, they don't. It's just like the goddamn flu.
You do have a point there too. Like,
No,
if you get the flu, I can go out into the store and do whatever the fuck I want. So like, who are them to stop you? So there you go.
The whole thing is like if you have Ebola, yeah, stay your ass the fuck home. If you stay home and you can't pay your bills, dude, sorry.
That's the thing. We
Gotta
haven't
get out and
studied
go.
COVID long enough to know how.
That's horseshit.
If it's
whatever we're gonna say,
well,
that's horseshit.
I'm saying it's.
You know exactly what that shit does.
Hold on. It kills lots of old people, right?
Not necessarily.
I thought that was the whole thing about it.
No, more. It kills people with comorbidities.
Most of them are old.
Yeah, well, okay, fuck you, Devin. You're right. God damn it.
Win on my side.
Hey, old is just a perspective,
So,
motherfucker.
you know,
What's old to you? 60 and up?
no,
I think
I
it's
said
70
that.
and up. Is
I
what
said
it
that
is.
to quite a few older ladies in my day.
I'm gonna go grab a slice of pizza.
Slice it.
I forgot what point I was trying to make, but
My bad. I interrupted.
yeah, it's cool. It probably was terrible anyways. Honestly, I've really
no.
just been trying to have the other side of your argument this whole time. I don't know.
I like it.
I don't know if you've noticed that, but
No, that's not. No, it's,
sometimes I don't believe in some of the things.
we
but
we need to have.
We need to have the diagram, the talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dialogue. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. So it's good to have that kind of dialogue. You know.
No, we are all going to have different perspectives on
and we
many
need to
different
have those
topics.
perspectives,
And we need to have them because most people in life don't know how to talk to other fucking people. And it's like, dude, just because you got a different perspective, just because I want Donald Trump to win over Biden, doesn't mean that you should hate me.
Cool.
Can't be cool with me.
Yeah.
Like, dude, my I know a lot of people near and dear to my heart that voted for Joe Biden. I think they're retarded, and most of them have medical degrees and degrees.
I just want to say before we go any further,
I don't hate you.
I don't believe in the electoral system. I don't vote. So
I don't vote either. Amen to you, brother. I don't vote either. I think I voted. I think I voted. I didn't vote, but I think I might have voted. My name was on somewhere. So.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, if you think about
it.
I mean, I didn't probably put on some kind of ballot that I didn't, because I definitely didn't vote. And you know what's
what am I supposed to do about it?
You know what's funny? You know what's funny is New York passed that shit. Remember, years, like, it's been how many years since we started this country? Felons haven't been able to vote, and New York fucking passed that shit like 5 years ago.
What? What?
Andrew Cuomo passed it so felons can vote.
Oh, can vote.
Can vote. So when I was in prison, we all got our rights back to vote.
That's pretty cool.
And
I mean, for you, for some of those guys, they're just
no, because I had an excuse before not to vote. Now I had to be like, I just don't believe in it. And then people are gonna try and talk to me. Remember that fucking South Park episode? Man, vote or die. Stupid. It's like, oh my god.
I don't. I remember the COVID special though. That was
you didn't
funny
watch the.
I haven't
What's
seen
COVID
that
special? Because they have the new one and then they have the brand new one that just dropped.
The first one where everybody's like,
are they old?
The vaccine was like so like uppity and like everybody was like, yes, I got my vaccine.
Oh, so
like, everybody was all about the vaccine.
Yeah.
And it's funny because that's why I was laughing so hard, because that's how people were acting at the time, and still kind of are.
They still are, dude. If you
but a lot of people,
that was like a Facebook picture, like I got my vaccine.
Well, it's just funny because a lot of those people figured out that the efficacy, the true efficacy, and not just efficacy, but the true efficacy of the vaccine has waned so badly compared to when they said what they said it was going to be. It only lasts for 6 months.
It is no longer.
Your immunity lasts for 6 months, and then you have to have another booster.
I'm not getting stabbed every 6 months. I hate needles. They can suck on my dick.
Insane.
No, I believe it's kind of meant to like.
Jamie got COVID one time on the Joe Rogan. He still got the antibodies. One time.
Yeah, that's from natural immunity.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got COVID. I thought I got COVID twice. And Dr. Peter McCullough is stating there's no way that you had COVID twice. But in all honesty, the second time I did get sick,
I know a lot of people that have had COVID like 4 times. I can actually name you the person that's had it 3 or 4 times.
I don't know though, because now that I think about it,
she works as was a nurse or like a person who works with CNA or whatever.
Yeah, bro, they're the same. It's the same exact symptoms as a cold or a flu. It's the same shit.
Fat girl, so.
Oh, that makes. Hey,
I want you guys' opinion on this statistic.
Hold on, let me go back to the thing. All right, go ahead.
No, I'm not showing anything. You're good.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Hit me with
it.
Big fella.
2019, there was 38 million flu cases. 2019, there was 38 million flu cases.
Oh yeah, there was like 30,000 in like 20 or some shit like that.
There was not 1,700 or 1,900 in 2020.
Yeah.
What did you just say?
2020. All right. So
we COVID eradicated.
Pull that shit up right now.
Yeah,
in 2019. There was 38 million flu cases.
Well, Jamie's not here right now, but Steven is. Steven.
Hey, I'm just saying, Jamie, and one of you motherfuckers, please pull this shit up, because you said there was 38 million cases in 2019.
Yeah, there was
and there was 1,900 cases.
Yeah, it was like
what?
Yeah, right there at the top. But bam, 38,1,822. Right at the top. Rated big letters. Big, bold letters.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but this is where I think
they're saying it's because we're using masks and gloves and cleaning ourselves more.
People I think it's because the only test we're taking
ain't nobody changed our lifestyle.
Let me talk.
Jesus.
The only test that we are doing and performing is the rapid PCR test or another rapid
COVID
blood
test.
test, which is an antibody test or
Yeah.
something. But these PCR tests, and I've even talked to like a buddy I work with. His wife is a forensic scientist, and she does stuff with in the criminal justice field. And she even said that the PCR tests, will pick up any viral or anything viral. If it's anything viral or bacterial, like it can have the ability to pick it up. If you have low, what's it called? If you have low amount of the
Low T.
virus in you, then if you have the low amount of the virus in you, then you could test positive more frequently on the PCR tests compared to when you have more of the sickness in you that you would test negative, because there's false positives and false negatives when it comes to that test.
Sorry to interrupt you, but didn't Dr. Peter McCullough say that the virus, you're not going to have the virus, but it's going to stick around in your system for how many days? Like you can test positive for up to like 50 or 60 days after or something like that.
I don't know, but I know the only cure for this is more cowbell.
Yes. Nice. Ding. Wish we had Will Ferrell here right now. That'd be awesome. Yeah, well, we're talking about more serious shit, Devin, you son of a bitch.
I know. I just got to be some comedic relief in here.
This is absolutely mind-boggling. 38 million cases 2019, 2020, and 1,800 cases of influenza in 2021. What in the fuck?
We eradicated it. What do you mean?
Crazy.
What in the fuck?
Well, there's no flu test given out.
We did what to the flu? What we wanted to do to the COVID.
No. That's what you think happened? Is that what you think happened? Or do you think they're using those numbers? Okay, yeah. All right. I was like, Devin, don't do that to me. I think you're smarter than that, boy. Yeah, that's insane. That right there alone. Dude, you know what else I loved about this is Dr. McCullough, Peter McCullough, he was on Joe Rogan, he was talking about how it's a fact, 100% fact that the VAERS, the testing, the adverse events from the vaccines are underreported by 4 to 5 times. And you're looking at over 15,000 deaths just from the VAERS reporting alone. So if that's the case, and he knows this from hospital data, if that's the case, then you're looking at, you're looking at 60 to 80,000 to 90,000 deaths.
Mostly old people, right?
But he was saying the same thing. He's saying most of them are old people with comorbidities. I wouldn't say old people, but I'd say I'd say people in general with comorbidities, because there's kids that have died from the vaccine. There's children that have died from the vaccine.
If you see, and like pro athletes that are super healthy.
They're dropping dead, huh?
Yeah.
It's like 200 and something now.
And
200 soccer players, right?
I was about to tell you about the soccer, and they're all dying from things like
myocarditis,
and like blood clots.
Inflammation.
Blood clots,
too. Thrombosis, and heart inflammation.
And it's all because they think it's because of the vaccine, honestly.
Well, Dr. Peter McCullough states specifically he thinks it's because of the nanolipids in the vaccine. And which doesn't mean much to me, but that's what he says. He's stating that
scary.
Yeah, well, nanolipids is not a big word, first of all.
It is to me. Lipid means nothing to me. Nano means small. Lipid, you could have just said butter. I didn't know.
Right.
But the lipid nanoparticles or whatever they are, that are in, helps. I think that helps the mRNA break through the cell membrane.
Well,
and penetrate into the nucleus.
This is what I want to do. I wanted you to pull this shit up. I'm gonna give you the stage, real quick. Please just pull.
Steve, you gotta take over my job today, bro.
Yeah, pull something up, and walk us through it. What do you want to? You want to get into the vaccine or the NW, the Davos? Because I know you wanted to jump onto the Davos group.
Yeah, bro. Let's get into that.
We gotta have an episode about that Boston Dynamics. Is that what it's called?
There's not too much to talk about on them, but yeah,
DARPA.
Yeah.
We
Well,
should do that.
tie into everything else.
DARPA's in. I think they're responsible for making the vaccine. I think they produce the vaccine.
Of course.
Really?
Oh,
think DARPA
and I
is
got this
warp
vaccine?
speed.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Warp speed,
I wanna
right?
say that.
Operation
Bro,
Warp
that's
Speed.
not good.
Done. Right.
DARPA scares me.
No, I mean bioweapon.
Yeah.
DARPA.
Yeah. DARPA scares me.
Didn't DARPA
does-
created the internet?
We're
bro.
red pilling your ass, bitch.
DARPA does like robotics and like DARPA does everything. DARPA's everything.
DARPA created. Dude, they created the internet.
Everywhere.
People don't know that DARPA created. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
DARPA was responsible for the internet.
DARPA is everything.
They originally I worked for a guy that worked on the project in the 80s
I
or
don't know,
70s.
man.
80s.
I'm just saying DARPA
It
is
was-
behind a lot of scary things.
It was originally designed for the Air Force communication system and it turned into something what we're doing right the fuck now. So, yep. Absolutely insane. DARPA, I worked for a guy that worked for DARPA.
Yo.
Worked on the program back in the 80s, and it was originally designed for Air Force communications, and it turned into the internet.
Really?
All
Yes.
right. So, DARPA's got
That's
a
what he told me.
project going
Couldn't
called
tell you if that's the truth.
DARPA's got a project going that has to do with synthetic blood.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Oh.
Great.
Powered
Sounds healthy.
exoskeletons, we need that. Sensors that can see under the ground, we kind of have that, but I'm sure they're doing better. Cyborg insects, yeah, remote controlled airplanes that are like jets.
All right.
Yeah.
Check this shit out. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, man, you're
Check
good.
this out.
I'm feeling
this
dead
out.
air. Oh, programmable shapeshifter matter. That's scary.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
So the Swedish startup Epicenter unveils rice-sized microchip implant that stores your COVID vaccine passport under your skin and is read with technology used to take contactless payments. Bro, so this is what I'm talking about. Okay? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I wanted to get into.
They
This
kind
is
of
what
already
Gates is
had that
into.
though. They have some people that have it so like they can enter their house and shit with them and like all that. Like it's crazy.
But that's just going to lead to like censoring. That's just 100 like this is not what the world needs to move to. That like this is getting rid of
less control for the public,
independent-
more control for the government. Yes, you're 100% right. This is not going to lead to anything good. Anything that is tracking,
this
anything
is
that's
not the real
tracking.
purpose of it.
No. Well,
This is not the real purpose of it. I'm sorry.
no,
This is
for
not,
sure.
This is not to make better a living. This is not to make an easier, safer, peaceful. Fuck all those words because it's complete bullshit. It's all propaganda to me. That's my opinion, but
Yep.
you know, I'm super strong on that. I mean, we could see the propaganda. The fucking CIA was created to create propaganda. Like that's out in the FOIA documents, man.
Project
That's out in the Freedom of
Mockingbird.
Information Act, man. Like that shit is out of the bag, man.
Was it called
This is
Project
what's going on.
Mockingbird? Is that what you're talking about?
Mockingbird, yeah, when
Yep.
they're the ones that created mainstream media. It is what
Amen.
it is. And
Amen. Yep.
you know, when you look at these and you see like Bill Gates, look, so I'm gonna piggyback off of this microchip shit.
Bill Gates,
All right.
that son of a
Bill-
bitch. We meet
So,
again.
right here.
You sound just like him.
Yeah, it's great. So Bill Gates, vaccinations, microchips, and then he has a patent that he came out with. But this patent, it basically is censoring. I have the patent right here.
We called it Bill Greats. I like it. I like his name
Did I
better.
really?
Yeah, I like his name better as Bill Greats though.
Great.
Yeah. It's
Bill
I don't know if
Greats.
yeah, it just sounds better, doesn't it? Like I don't
He's
know.
a bunch of the greats.
Yeah, see, you got it. He's just the great.
Let me know when you guys can see that. I don't know if you can see
I-
this.
It's not gonna
I can
come
see it.
through very good. So, oh,
I
it's
can see it.
perfect. That's good
It's
right
perfect.
there. Whoa, whoa, hey,
All right.
easy there, fella.
So what this is a patent, and it was created in 2020, and the file number is 060606. And it's a cryptocurrency system using body activity data. And so this was patented by Microsoft. Bill
Oh
Gates is
wait,
no longer the official owner of Microsoft, but I bet you 100% he's still fucking involved somehow because he has these guys' names.
are they
Tax
using
purposes.
are they
Yeah.
using us as
Yeah,
storage?
this is bearing information. So, no, literally, look at the patent. This is you.
Yeah. Are they using us
Sensor.
as storage?
It's not
Is what I'm
specific
saying.
where it is. What it is, it's going to be. This is the social credit score right here.
Oh,
This is it.
I know that
This is the way they're going to do it in America.
they're doing a
Because-
lot of studies on bio data storage, and
All that's going to be meant for this.
they've specific.
All the little things that are going to start to come about in the next, let's just say 8 years till 2030. I think it's all going to be built and set in place for a system that's going to be initiated. Some sort of system is going to be initiated. Imagine if America gets hacked. All of the Bitcoin, all the money in your bank, every single thing gets completely hacked, and then there's a complete reset of economic crisis in society.
Cool.
It could be easily done with the way things are done, because we're starting to see companies that are going to want to go to what's called a digital currency. And with this digital currency, you're going to need to have, like you said, a storage device, some sort of thing that is a transmitter. It responds. It does a bunch of things. You know, the fact that there's a sensor with a user device and that it goes to a communication network here and that it mines money for you, to me, explain it's a social credit. This is communism. This is to where you're going to have to be good or do things and comply in order to make money
One thing
or
I
to
heard.
build it.
One thing I heard was that you're going to, and this ties into it because they need you to be somewhat healthy if you're going to be a commodity. You're going to be a human commodity, a generator. So you're going to get paid to, you have a certain amount of exercise you have to do.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, there's just, I know, and you know what? It sounds like, oh, that doesn't make sense. They want you to be healthy. Well,
you're just
healthy to an extent because you're
It could be as
basically
easy.
you're going to be a
Yeah, but it could
walking
be
commodity.
It could be as easy as saying that the vaccinated can get this. And because you're complying and because you get all of these vaccines and all these booster shots, it will mine you money. It will mine you. We will give you. It's the way a government is aiding people to help.
I know
You
that
know, one helps the other.
Dude, it's crazy because we all know that this is going to take decades to really implement and to.
I know, but when you think, let's
Maybe
just say
only
25
2,
years. What if this
Yeah.
this age of these kids that are coming up,
Yeah.
and they're immediately learning the masks, and they're learning that the government says this and you must do this. Like, that stuff is all psychological. It's getting to that point to where the government will not only need to like not try as hard, but people are gonna want to off people. There's already people now in the streets preaching the only revolution is communist something or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, the only solution is communist revolution. And it's like,
And all of these people,
damn, that's
though,
because
are.
all these Marxist groups that are out
Yes.
out today. And I'm not saying that there's not any good in some of these things, but the movements.
There's no good
are
in any of
Marxist.
those things.
of course
There's no
there
good
is.
in Marxism.
Russia, I'll do
You
it.
know,
No, there's zero good in Marxism. Zero.
you know.
It kills. It only kills people. It does. The Marxism deal is not the route you want to go, and people will realize that once they look up who Karl Marx is.
I think we just need to sell everything to China and just get it over with.
We already did that.
No, we're hanging on. That's why this whole
We
thing
ain't
is
hanging
happening.
on. They bought all of our debt from the housing crisis and are fucked right now, I guess, or something like that. I don't know. They're holding on. We're holding on. We're in debt still. It's a shitty situation.
And this is, look, I'm going to show you guys another thing. This is linked with ID 2020. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of ID 2020. Has anyone heard it? Well, it's ran by Gavi. It's ran by the Rockefellers and it's ran by the Gates Foundation. ID 2020, my man. This is about bringing together a digital ID. This is the storage. This is the storage. This is where it will track and have everything. Identification, everything. And I mean, I could go in to read all this, but...
Read the important parts.
Let me see. Oh, so technology is evolving at a blinding pace, and many of the transactions that require identification are today being conducted digitally, from e-passports to digital wallets, online banking to social media accounts. These new forms of digital ID allow us to travel, conduct business, assess financial and health records, stay connected, and much more. So this is a part of what Bill Gates wants to do, is bring together like what we have on Facebook, but everything is connected. Every single thing is connected. You can even say whatever. Like the idea of like the metaverse in a way is kind of like another idea.
So are they all trying to do this thing? Because like, isn't Elon Musk trying to kind of do it with a Neuralink, but he's also kind of trying to have us connected and as in like telepathically or whatever?
I think that's a Klaus Schwab thing. I think Elon is probably maybe getting that type of information from Klaus Schwab, because Klaus Schwab like years ago was talking about having people connected, like, you know, in their mind in a way. And Klaus Schwab is in charge of all this Davos, this World Economic Reform. He is the one. Klaus Schwab has a school for globalists. Okay, and when, and I'll pull it up here. Let me see if I have it
a little
here.
bit. Let's backpedal a little bit on the Elon thing, because from what I got about the Elon Neuralink is that there's literally filaments that are like electronic filaments that connect to your synapses to your brain, and they send and receive messages and signals, and they can literally repair just about any neurological disease. So it's not just that's what he says, though. So it's not just about connecting the world. It's about literally repairing any neurological disease, which is
that's what I'm saying. You have to understand. There's always a facade, bro. There's always some bullshit.
So maybe that's it. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's because it sounds like a facade.
Like, I don't believe a fucking.
Come on, I was gonna say, how good is it? It cures all neurological diseases.
That's what he said.
Yeah,
literally.
That's what I mean. Like, it's just gotta be. It's gotta be something, man. There's gotta be.
That sounds pretty sketchy.
That's like if I come up with like nanites and the cure all cancer. But
and
you know what?
Swallow the pill of nanites.
But you know what else they can do? If I program them correctly and you swallow the pill, they can eat your heart.
Yeah, they can do anything. They can.
Exactly. So like, we'll tell the public that it'll cure all cancer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and slowly we're gonna eat their ass from the inside out. You know.
Here, check this out. This is Klaus Schwab, right? And he's wrote the Great Reset. He is this World Economic. This is the guy that's pushing towards this new world order.
I like it.
And so when we come here,
I must meet this man.
In 1992, Schwab established a parallel institution, the Global Leaders for Tomorrow School, which was established as a young global leaders school in 2004. Attendees at the school must apply for admission and are then subjected to a rigorous selection process. Watch this shit. I'm going to go down. Look at the people that have attended this school. Governor of California.
Gavin Newsom. Hey.
Part of the Biden administration. This is the
Pete Buttigieg.
This is the leader for France right now. Macron.
I don't know.
Gates. Soros.
And Bezos.
Go back up real quick. It says Bill Gates Global Leaders of Tomorrow Class 1993. I thought this said it was started in 2004.
No, not 1992.
Okay.
Yeah, Jesse. Learn how to read.
Sorry. Young global leaders.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm red pilling the fuck out of you too,
God.
bro.
Yeah, right. All right. You're lucky. You're lucky.
It's much more.
I got this shit muted.
Where's this Davos group? When I showed you the Davos group, it was Putin. It was you have all these groups. You have the G7 summit. You know, there's gonna be I think a bunch of war, probably in the next coming time. Like we already hear the rumors of that stuff.
With Russia?
But
Awesome.
with Russia, China,
Isn't Russia about to go to war
Israel,
with Ukraine?
all Syria, all this stuff, man. Yes, apparently they're at the border and they're getting.
And aren't we
I don't know, I
talking
mean,
to
they're at the
Russia
border.
right now about not doing that? Or else or something?
Yes, I think Biden did say that. Yeah.
But I mean, what's a threat like that from him? It's really man. What's that one president there? Speaks softly, carry a big stick. Biden doesn't have a big stick, and he speaks softly. So
Yeah.
what do we got on that guy? Like, I don't think Trump was the right person to lead our country, but I don't think Biden
listen,
is.
I don't
sure.
trust any of them, dude.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Trump has this thing about him that, has this patriotic feel to it. But at the same time, he made Israel established, which is going to build the third temple. And he also
Operation Warp Speed.
He's the one that did Warp Speed and created this thing.
Yep.
He's the one that said, "Oh, he made a vaccine in 6 months that needed to take 10 to 15 years to be made." But then you see Moderna was already producing a vaccine for COVID back in 2014 or 2016.
I think it's
This is all bullshit. We are all in a play. We are all in a play, and the end goal is to bring together this new world order. I'm a complete fucking believer in that, because when you're seeing everything and you're connecting all these things together, and yet now we're starting to like see shit in real time, like coming
So where
together.
did you?
Like
let's
an
see.
example is this. An example is this, bro. Is that your state that you live in, New York, is completely different than Florida and my state. And the only time that has happened is back in the Revolutionary or the Civil War time, was when the states started to secede or start to disagree with federal level or
with the union
level.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, we're starting to see history repeat itself. And what happened? What was it? Look back in history, it's because the government wanted to control the people, and that's what we see right now. It's exactly what's happening. There's going to be some people that stand up for what this constitutional republic was back in the day. But anyways, like, that's why I think a lot of things are going to take place in America with, Bill Gates, Bezos. You start to, like, the world follows behind us in a way. But America's doing it different than the rest of the world. Some places in the rest of the world, they just blatantly they just control your life. They don't care. In America, it's got to be like soft fed. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be like a conditioning process. It's got to be like introduced to where we're playing the longevity. We're not playing the short game. We're playing the long term. Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to ask you was, you said that somebody had already been making a COVID vaccine in 2016 or 17.
Yeah, Moderna already had like agreements with.
Can you pull that up real quick?
Let me see.
Because I think I've heard that before. It was 2017, I think. And that's I mean, there was SARS-CoV-1, right? SARS-COVID. There was already yeah. And then the virus is SARS-CoV-2, and the disease initially is COVID-19, I guess is how you can describe that, right? Which is very confusing because people think COVID-19, it doesn't make any sense at the same time. It's like, okay, COVID-19 is the virus, right? And it's like, no, that's the disease. What's the virus? SARS-CoV-2. Okay, why the fuck? What?
Get weird search results. I remember.
Are you Googling? Go DuckDuckGo.
No. I don't even use that Google anymore.
I didn't think you did. fucking, you can't use Google when you're talking about the fucking New World Order. I mean,
Right.
that's like one of the number one obvious rules right there.
Wouldn't Microsoft just stop you?
What, Google?
Yeah, Google and Microsoft are a thing, right?
They censor everything.
Yeah.
You can't fucking find shit you want to find a lot of the time. You can't just type in Google, what is there anything bad about the vaccine? You type that into Google, you're only going to find the glorious vaccine and how it's so good. You're not going to find any articles about how there's negative effects or there's myocarditis or anything like that. It's the same thing with the political shit. It's all censoring. The political thing was a big, big wake up. That was the big first wake up call. Was the whole political deal. And then, what do we see? Oh, they're censoring the whole vaccine thing now too. You can't say anything bad about it. They're doing what's good for you. They're jabbing you.
We're gonna get canceled.
Yeah, I hope so. Try to cancel us. Go ahead and cancel.
Let me see here. I think they're probably just going to continue to change the definition of vaccinated to you got to be like updated on your boosters.
Yeah, they're gonna keep changing everything because they already have been.
Yeah, I think these things, not things. I think that the vaccine is causing the virus to mutate, and I'll show you real quick.
You're talking about the ADE. Is that you're talking about ADE?
No, not exactly. But this is a what case? Oh, I gotta look it up real quick. But it talks about it. It talks about improper vaccinations. And the study. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is a study, and it says imperfect vaccination can enhance the transmission of highly virulent pathogens.
You know, I was just thinking about this. We can
And
create.
this talks about Merrick's disease here.
Okay.
Merrick's disease.
What were you saying, Devin?
It's not really that important, honestly.
Well, okay.
I mean, I was just saying something.
Fuck off then.
What's up?
No, it's really kind of stupid, honestly. It was just gonna be a joke, and then when he told me to stop, I'm like, oh man, I can't come in later with this joke. You know what I mean? And he did so like, yeah, go ahead, Devin. I'm like, oh, the joke's kind of not there no more. So like, I got nothing.
I don't know. It's still there. Let it fly.
I don't know. It's not there.
You don't
no
even
more.
remember.
No,
Oh
not
God.
now.
Jesus.
But they proved in this case that an imperfect vaccination is considered like a leaky vaccine, to where it loses efficacy and it does not contain the pathogen from spreading or anything like that. And that's what you see from the vaccine, and that's why they continuously have to boost whatever the subject to keep its efficacy rate up, so that it doesn't cause any other type of like mutations. And then when you see that, it's supported here with
That's what they're telling you, man.
Merrick's disease. But Merrick's disease, they figured out, and Merrick's disease, this is like a study that like 100% claimed.
I'm just saying what they're really doing is like trying to fucking turn us into the Greys, man.
Oh, the Greys. Yeah.
Every time, like, they stick us with the shot, and then it changes our DNA a little bit, and the next shot changes it a little more, and the next shot changes it a little more, until eventually we're what they want us to be. More like sheep, less like people.
And then we start making fucking flying saucers and fucking time traveling.
You got it, Jesse. See what I'm saying?
That's what we were doing. That's why the Greys were
goddamn
here.
Egyptians didn't build the fucking pyramids without slaves.
But that's all I pretty much got, man, for today. There's the that thing with Bill Gates patent. It's linked to BEZH, and BEZH International is a digital currency right here, digital money biometrics company, and that is linked. See, they create all these things to bury it, dude. They bury so much information. What I mean by bury is like when you create one organization, you create 5 more within it, and then 5 more within those, or whatever. When it's all owned by the same person, it's just like it's individual to where you're like,
well, it's so you can't
can't
find
be the
any
same
information
person.
about that
Yeah,
company.
and,
So like it's kind of what I'm going through with work. I'm not gonna go into it, but like my company is owned by one man, but it's also he owns like 1,700 companies. Like, he owns a shit ton of businesses, and so like everything's spread out through all these different companies. Like I was technically co-employed through 2 companies. Isn't that crazy?
yeah. See, yeah,
So like that's
crazy.
how they're doing. Like what's happening with me and my work is kind of fucked up. So I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah.
Yeah. But then, so BEZH has a company that they work with, BuyChip, and BuyChip is is an implantable passive RFID and NFC transponder chip with a smart thermometer for health monitoring through in vivo body temperature monitoring that can store identification and access control data like opening a house or car doors, checking in at workplaces, and various forms of contactless payment, which require authentication processes. BuyChip has also created a crypto token. See, this is what everything is going to start going to, bro.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird. Why is there nanotechnology in the vaccine, and this is definitely nanotechnology as well?
That's what I
So
was
you think
talking
the
about
two
earlier
correlate?
when I said they were opening their houses and stuff with inserted chips. Like that's what I was.
So you
telling
think those two correlate? You think the vaccine and the chip correlates?
I think the vaccine's purpose can be like a conditioning tool to when it's like not so much purpose about the vaccine, but it's the fact that you need something in order to function in society. You need a vaccine to eat at this restaurant in whatever state that this is, or you need to have the vaccine to work. You need to have the vaccine in order to send your kid to school, or your kid has to have the vaccine to go to school. You see how these things are, that it's like you need something in order to function, to be a part of society, to be in society. You need something. That's what I'm thinking is the most impact with this COVID stuff and this vaccine, is that it is such a psychological thing that, a lot of people believe that they truly need this in order to even just survive. They could be 25 years old, healthy as hell, and they're like just fear mongered. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But that's what I got, man. That's pretty much all the tabs I had.
Yeah, I mean,
Shit's real. Shit's real.
I 100% agree with you. I do, 1,000%. At the end of the day,
Oh, I switched back. I closed all my screen.
at the end of the day, why is a disease like COVID that is it's really not nearly as deadly as plenty of other viruses. It's not as deadly. It's very infectious and it's new, which scares everyone. But it's not as deadly to certainly the healthy population. It's really not at all. It's not nothing to be afraid of at all. Why is the world doing this, and why are they all taking the same exact route? Why are we all kind of in lockstep together? That's the thing. Like, what in the world has done this? And this is the thing I go back to. If you don't care enough and you're just going about your everyday life, you're not going to realize that Australia, they're in a shitty fucking place. You're not going to realize that New Zealand's in a shitty place. You're not going to realize that UK has weird restrictions, and New York City. Some people might not even know about New York City. They're just stuck in their everyday life. So if you don't want to really know what's going on, trust me, it's going to hit you when it's too late. It's going to hit everybody. It's already hit everybody. It's already kind of too late. But
I think they're just going to accept it, and it'll be too late because they are already ignorant.
Those are the type of people that will. I agree.
It is what it is.
Those
if
are the
it makes
type of
their
people.
life easier, then they're going to do it. They'll sacrifice anything, I think.
Yeah, well, it's like, okay, you got all this shit going on around you, and you're just gonna go to your job at McDonald's every day, and you don't really give a fuck. You don't really think about it at all. And then there's gonna be a point in your life where, I don't know, maybe something happens to someone close to you, or the restrictions come about, and you can't do something you were used to able to do, like go to play basketball, and they remove the basketball hoops.
Right.
Just weird things like that start happening, and then it happens more, and it happens more, and it happens more, and then it's going to be too late by the time you want to start to talk. And the only time we can get rid of shit like this, I think, in my personal opinion, is if the greater population stands up against it. And that's one big thing that happened in Australia. It's weird. They took their guns away. Not really even that long ago. They took their guns away, and now they're just being thrown around like a rag doll. They're being thrown around like a rag doll by their country. And you look at here, and it's like it wasn't as easy to do that here. When you look at the states, there's more strict gun laws, there's more strict COVID laws.
Oh yeah, hold on.
And that's kind of a weird correlation. That's kind of a weird correlation. It's very odd. It's very odd. Why is it that when you look at the states with more strict gun laws, there's more strict COVID laws? That doesn't make much sense to me. It's very odd.
That's typical government, man. Typical government.
Yeah, more restrictions, more control. That's my opinion.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I think it's plain to see.
Well,
it's obvious.
Go ahead, Devin.
Nothing, man. I'm just trying to figure some things out.
With the podcast?
Yeah, because Steve closed that thing off, and so now it changed all our.
Yeah, no, it looked good.
It does.
The stream looked good.
I didn't
see anything.
If you want to go back and check it out again, sir, you would see that is wrong.
I thought you heard me when I said I closed it out.
No, I heard you close it out. It went blue loop, and I went, oh, and I thought you heard me say that's probably not going to be good.
That was a minute. That was like 5 minutes ago, though.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit more.
It finally just disappeared.
Oh, jeez.
So now we're kind of
just slow service.
No, we're out of it.
Oh no! Yeah, dang.
Yeah, dude. It's all good. It happens, man. I'm just gonna.
What is it? It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just blank.
Messed up. Yeah, it's messed up.
It's messed up.
Yeah.
I
guess we can conclude it.
How did it happen? Well, Steve was the guy with the screen share. He decided, and I told him, "Hey, you can't do that."
Dang. That was my bad.
So what if he told you before? What would you have to do? You just gotta
leave it up.
Yeah. Just leave up my thing.
Remember that was the whole problem at the beginning.
I know. That's what I was just trying to understand.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, you gotta be, you know. And he was like, "Yeah, I didn't know it was like that." Yeah. And then he closed out instantly, and I said, "Well, you just fucked up all the crops." You did know. You're the one who said it to me earlier, silly.
No, I didn't know. Me exiting it out on my screen.
Yeah.
Because I have two windows up. I have two monitors up right now. So
but you're screen sharing, which takes up a screen.
I stopped screen sharing.
Right, and then that moves all the crops because all the cameras move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Damn.
It happens, dude. I built it already. It's happened. It's done. But we can't do it again.
All good.
Because the screen share is already off. So like I said, it's not a big deal. Boo boo.
Not a biggie. Not a biggie.
Yeah, I gotta cut out soon anyway. I haven't even really eaten.
Oh man,
It's all good.
that's
It's all
no
good,
bueno.
Yeah.
I didn't really have anything I wanted to hit this podcast. Did anybody else have any other subjects?
I could talk all night about this shit. Don't get me going.
Jesse.
Don't get me going. I could keep going, but yeah, no, we love you guys. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you, Steven. Appreciate
Yeah.
you.
I'll see y'all.
And
I appreciate
Y'all
everybody
on the
for
flip.
showing up. Steve, thank you again for coming. I'm sorry about the little technical
man.
difficulty
you're
at the
good.
end.
we'll
You're
get there
good. It's
eventually.
rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. I appreciate everybody.
We'll edit
All
all
right,
this
man.
out. Don't worry.
You guys have a good night.
See you later.
All right, brother.
Jesse, you leaving?
No, not yet. Not necessarily.
All
What
right,
do you
cool.
want to do?
Well, no, I still have the
Touch each other digitally.
No, I still have the thing up.
Oh no!
Why
Just
would
kidding.
What'd you
I knew
just say?
I'd
What'd you just do?
I'm just kidding. I know. I figured you still had it up. We're still live right now.
Yeah.
I figured.
I wasn't gonna kill it. Like, I mean, I don't
No,
really have
it's all
anything else
good.
to talk about, but like, we usually just wing it anyways. So
No, it's all good. We could sit there and talk about this shit all night. I think we just caught Steven at a
bad time.
Yeah, I think it was just. I wish I would have. It was kind of just random going to my sister-in-law's house earlier, so I kind of wanted to do the podcast like way earlier, like 6
I would have
o'clock
loved
here.
to. That would have been great.
I know. I fucking was planning on doing that, and I'm like, fuck, because I told you I was like 6 to 8 o'clock your time. At 8 o'clock being the latest, I really wanted to do it at 3 p.m. my time, but I just got kind of stuck over there helping out, and it was my choice. Whatever.
We'll
get it.
The wrong.
We'll get some better. We'll get some better times in.
Yep.
For you guys, it's
that was great again. I love having Steve on. He's always great.
Yeah, he's a different perspective. We need to get more guys like him, that we can guest appearance.
Yeah, I like having guests. That's fun. I had to talk less.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Next time, I think I'm just gonna have people, if they want to show stuff, send me their links.
Yeah,
I think that'll work out better than having them, share their screens. That way, I can he knew kind of, I think, what happened. You know what I mean? But because he said it earlier, you have to crop everybody in, and then when he closed it, or when I closed my thing out earlier and he was going to his, we had to recrop everything. He kind of knew, but I don't think he knew that it was gonna shut everything down if he left. So
yeah, nobody knew. Obviously,
if I knew it was gonna shut everything down if he left.
You knew. Apparently, I don't know why. He's used this shit before. I thought so. I would think that he doesn't.
He says he
never
did it the same way as me, though.
Well, no, he never had anybody guest appearance on there from stream.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. He all his podcasts are in person, so it's Joe Rogan style. You're just sitting at a table together talking on the mic instead of having someone stream in to talk, and then screen share some shit from your side. That makes sense. I mean, I have no fucking clue what you're seeing on your end, so that sucks.
I mean, it worked out. It wasn't a big thing because he was already done with what he was talking about, and I mean, I didn't have anything to add to COVID, honestly. So
it's so fucking drawn out and played out. I just think that at this point, I mean, I would love to talk about some facts about the masks, but again, it's just going back to the red pill thing, the people that don't want to hear new things, they're not going to hear new things. They're not going to want to listen to this. And they're not gonna. And it's okay. But like I said, the only time you could get these people to listen is if they want to listen. They're going to get, you know what I mean? It's like
Well, when my feeling is when you say drawn out, and my feeling of drawn out must be different, because your drawn out is I want to hear more about stuff, and my
Well,
drawn
no,
out
no,
is
no, no,
I don't
no,
want to
no,
hear
no.
any more of this shit.
No,
I
no,
want to
no,
hear
no, no.
something funny. Let's talk about a movie.
I'm
Let's
speaking
fucking
about.
talk
I'm
about anything other than
drawn.
COVID.
I'm.
That's my
It's the same thing. No, I'm saying it's drawn out to the point where it's like I don't want to talk about it anymore because there's so much I've already thought about, said, looked into via internet, found multiple sources saying the same thing, found 3 times dozen more sources saying the opposite thing. So which is the truth, which is not the truth? Put the puzzle together a little bit. Think I know what I'm doing. Think I know what I understand. It's just like it's been 2 years of this shit now. So it's just like I'm so kind of over it. And it's drawn out.
my
Yeah, it's
opinion
drawn
of
out.
it doesn't matter though.
It doesn't. None of our opinions
So
matter,
when we
but
sit here
people
and
want to
talk about it
listen.
and stress ourselves
People
out
want to
about
listen
it,
to your opinion, though. That's the
doesn't
thing.
matter.
People want to listen to your opinion. That's why we do this. We just want to have an opinion about things and talk about anything. We don't want to just talk
Okay,
about
I guess
COVID,
I
but we're
should.
gonna.
I guess
But
I
we're
should
gonna.
expand on what I mean. What I mean is nothing's gonna happen because we talk.
For sure. Something's gonna happen when Joe Rogan talks, though. It's
Yeah,
the same
well,
concept.
so when
Yeah.
I say our opinions don't matter, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, people
They
want to
kind of do,
people
though.
want
They
to
kind of do,
listen
though.
sometimes, but like,
Yeah.
I'll tell
They
you right
do,
now,
though.
my words are never gonna I'm never gonna stand in front of a tank in a square. I'm never gonna fucking.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Tiananmen Square.
Yeah. I'm never gonna do that
Jesus
though.
Christ.
Like I'm not that person. Like I said, I flow. So like
Yeah. Yeah, no. Hey, yeah, exactly. Like Steven's a paramedic firefighter. He lives a whole different lifestyle than either of us or most people. It's just like he's going to be drawn to that topic. And some of his employees, some of the guys he works with aren't. They're just more similar to you or me. They're not and I'm not saying me. I went into I've been talking about New World Order way before COVID, you know. But that's just entertainment for me. I don't really see anything real time happening until now. That's why I'm more uh you know prone to jump into the conspiracy talks or conspiracy theory talks, which I should say because they're theories, most of them right now. I've been, you look at movies like Zeitgeist. You ever watch Zeitgeist?
nope.
You never watched Zeitgeist?
Mm-mm.
Oh, geez. You need to check out some of the Zeitgeist movies. Really? You need to check those movies out. You really do. Do you like documentaries?
Sometimes, depending on what they are about.
Yeah, Zeitgeist is yeah, you might not like it. Who knows? I don't know. But
It's gotta
they
be
talk
fucking
about.
interesting. It can't be stupid.
Oh, it's definitely interesting. It's definitely interesting. All the Zeitgeist movies are amazing. I think the one that kind of stuck in my mind the most was about the monetary system and how the private reserve started.
Ugh,
So,
that shit was cool, I guess.
what?
That yawn.
Yeah.
I didn't mute
Yeah.
the mic on that one, so that's why.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, shit, it's only fucking 7 o'clock my time.
it's quarter after
10
10.
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, hey,
fucking-
man. We can fucking, we did a good job. We got to work out the technical difficulties. But that's what happens. Like, there's not many people that are podcasting that are doing what we're doing. So,
What's that?
streaming, like Skyping
Oh,
podcasts. I don't really think there's many that are doing that.
I think
It's
they all,
difficult.
I think they all did that at least. Well, the
During COVID.
stuff was happening.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's a lot of people that did. It's just not preferred. I'm sure
Yeah,
they.
'cause it's a terrible way to fucking
Yeah.
talk. Like, I hate listening to people like this.
Yeah, because you
I
talk
much
over each other.
prefer being in the same room.
Yeah, because then there's only like maybe like a half a second delay. not even with this, which is great because it used to be much worse. This is pretty quick though, I think. I could be wrong. But I think I'm right because you talk and then I talk and then it's like, okay, I'm talking over you now. And it's like, I'll shut up.
Oh, man. I didn't think, when we were talking in the beginning of this episode, I didn't think Steve was going to get to his points. Because we were talking a lot. And then I realized we had just tangented so far. And I was like, oh, man, we got to get back to what we were supposed to be talking about. Yeah.
Well, as long as we can circle back, like Biden's lady, his little secretary lady, what's her name? Polsky. I
don't know.
Some with a P. As long as we can circle back and bring it back in, like you said with the welfare thing.
That's how I was like, hey.
Tie that in. Absolutely. No problem. That ties into, you're right. It ties into all of it. It does. And that's the thing. Everything that we talk about today, it all ties in together, and there's a way to explain it, but it's a very hard thing to sit down. You really got to plan it, to sit down and summarize it. And you got to talk about it 100 times like Joe Rogan. He can summarize so many things because he's talked about it fucking so many times, and he always apologizes. Oh, I know I've talked about this before, and I apologize to anybody that's heard this 100 times, but I'm going to say it again. And it just gets drilled into his head, and it gets drilled into your head too.
Men shouldn't be in women's sports.
Yes. Yeah. And surprisingly, he hasn't really talked about that enough.
I don't think he has. I really don't. I mean, he's been there, but like, they still fucking did the Olympics.
I think he should begin each podcast with, I'm going to start this podcast out with just saying he just keep the same recording.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that
like an ad read.
Men shouldn't be in women's sports acting like women.
Yeah.
Period. Bye. All right, let's start the podcast. That's the beginning of every podcast.
Like an ad read.
Jesus Christ. Like, no shit, dude. Hey, I think I'm going to become a woman.
Did the best version of that. They basically did Macho Man Randy Savage. And then
as a woman?
Yeah, he becomes a woman. And then does like the Olympics and like beats out all the women, and he's like, yeah, I'm the strongest woman on earth. Oh yeah. And he's wearing like spandex, and you can see this big giant cock. It's so funny.
Yeah, that's rough.
Strong woman.
I didn't see that one. I'm not a huge South Park fan, but I love South Park. I love the creators.
Huge South Park fan.
I'm not a huge South Park guy, but I am. What'd Steve just say? My bad boys. Come on, get the fuck out of here.
What did he say?
I think Steve apologized for leaving early. What a dork. Oh my God! Get the fuck out of here, Steven.
Apologize.
You're gonna have your fucking ass back on.
We gotta stop talking about COVID. I'm tired. I'm tired of COVID. And I'm not talking about in this podcast. I just mean in like another podcast. We gotta wait a couple more episodes.
Yeah, well, the shit just hasn't gone away yet. So
but
COVID
nothing news happened.
Yeah, no, the Omicron.
We didn't even talk about that.
Omicron and all this.
We didn't even talk about the Omicron.
That's the thing.
We should have hit
something new is happening all the time, and it's all the old shit, and it's hard to understand that. But people need this shit drilled in their head. Listen, to me, I'm right on board with Steven.
We're getting it from every news outlet. We don't need it from our news outlet.
Oh,
all the time is what I'm saying.
Well, listen, the news outlet that you're getting it from ain't the same as what Steven and we're talking about. So, it's like the reason why is because, like, okay, you want to drill into these people's heads every day that the vaccine is good, we're going to drill into your head all the time that there's adverse side effects to the vaccine and you need to research it. And you know what? Maybe if you're a healthy older person, maybe it's a good idea for you to get it if you're traveling or whatever. Maybe it is. Talk to your doctor about it. Maybe your doctor's smart. But at this, there's so many things that need to be talked about that aren't, even by doctors, even by the people on TV. The people on TV, Dr. McCullough was talking about it. There's people on TV that have talked so much about treatment for COVID, and they've never treated anybody. And I can get, you've never treated anybody for COVID either. Yeah, you're damn right I haven't, but I've listened to people that have. And you're not hearing them because those people that have aren't on CNN. They're not on MSNBC. They're not on Fox. These people aren't going on these channels and talking about the treatments. They're not going on national TV and talking about it because they're afraid for their career. They're afraid for the job. They're just going to follow the protocol. It is what it is, and people need to hear that because people don't really understand that. So it needs to be drilled in their fucking skulls, dog. And when you say shit like that, trust me, our demographic is not going to be above 30 or 40. It's like our demographic's probably going to be around 16 to 29 years old, 30 years old, 35 years old. Let's go there. 40. Okay. 15 to 40 years old. That's a pretty good demographic. Right?
I don't know. Probably. Yeah, probably.
Probably. What do you think? You're like, nope, I'm done with it.
Yeah, I'm done with it, dude. I hear it every day from everybody. So
yeah.
And you're talking about wanting to talk about it more. There's a lot of places that talk about not getting the vaccine and all that shit, dude. If I wanted that shit, I have so many outlets. I don't know, man. I'm fucking done with it.
No, I hear you. I completely understand. You're right. There's a lot of people talking about it now, more so now, especially credible people. So, it'll eventually get brought up, and we'll correct things that need to be correct, hopefully. And we can just keep our comedy podcast going. Yeah. We can talk about this shit and act serious all we want, but really, we're just inspired. I'm really just inspired by comedians, because comedians have the best podcast right now, and I listen to all the best podcasts. And they're funny, and they make good points, and that's what I want to do, too.
That's all I want to do. Yeah. This COVID seriousness is bringing down my vibe. I don't mind doing it, but God, it's just so serious. That's why every once in a while I make a little joke. And it just kind of goes, woo,
comic relief.
Way over everybody's head. Or I get a little chuckle like, haha, oh yeah. And so then more people died. It was crazy. Like, oh. You know what I mean? Like My jokes only go so far when we're talking about something so serious. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's especially with Steven, it's just a tough for him. He's like right there. So, and he's fucking definitely. He's a funny guy too. He knows he gets comedy. So, but for him, it's just like he really just really takes it seriously because he knows how serious it is, right down to the fucking. He's on the front line, It is what it is. He just takes it more seriously, whether he's on the front line or not. That's just his personality. But hey, we are the comic relief gang right here, motherfucker. So we're just gonna slide in. You're gonna be talking about, comorbidities, and then we're gonna slide in a comorbidity joke. It's just how it's gonna go. Hey, sorry you're allergic to peanuts.
What?
Don't take the vaccine.
Okay.
Right? If you're allergic to peanut, no.
I don't know. I thought it was shellfish.
Shellfish? Oh, Jesus.
I don't know.
Shellfish, peanut butter. Fuck. God damn it.
All right, man. I'm gonna cut this Pretty
Let's
sure.
cut it. All right, we did a good job. We're doing it.
Oh, we did a bad job at the end. We did a good job in the beginning. But man, we fucking fucked it up at the end.
Yeah, it's all good.
I fumbled the ball.
No, you're fine, dude. Well, hey, they'll get better as it go on. The more we do, we'll get it.
We gotta get it earlier, so we gotta get it.
Yeah, I'll work on that. That's my bad.
I mean,
That's my B.
we could do it any time of the day right now.
Yeah, today was a good day to do it early, and I fumbled the ball on that one. I was like, yeah, let me go light their water heater for them. They were living in the house. They don't have water.
They don't need hot water to shower.
5 hours, 6 hours later, I've fucking been over there for like 6 hours. God damn it. They bought Bud Light. I was like, I better stick around.
You gotta. All right, man. Well, let's end this here.
All right, brother.
Remember, check out The Wise Men. Check out Relentless Skeptics on Spotify. That's the big one. We need you to do that. 5-star reviews all around, even though we suck at this.
We'll get better. Cheers, motherfuckers. Thanks for joining.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.